Hello and welcome to the first video for topic 6, the digital divide, and this is for Cambridge AS and A level information technology. So here we go. I've broken it up into 4 parts. What the digital divide is, the causes of the digital divide, the effects of the digital divide, and groups affected by the digital divide. As you can see here, we've got 11 topics and we're currently on the middle one, digital divide. We're going to learn what the digital divide is between people and regions that have access to modern technology and information, for example smartphones, televisions, personal computers, tablet computers, laptop computers and internet access, and those with restricted or no access. And then we're going to look at the causes of the digital divide, the availability of high and low performance computers and wireless connections. Okay, here we go. The digital divide, a term first used in the 1990s. It describes the gap between people and places that have easy access to modern technology and those that don't. The divide can happen because of difference in age, where you live, or how much money you have. It affects how easily people can get online or use tech devices, and whether they know how to use them well. Every country faces this issue to some degree. Within a country, it's about the difference between people who can regularly use the technology and those who can't. Globally, it shows a difference between rich and poor countries in terms of who has better access to technology. Okay, key terms that might come up on an exam paper. Demographic, a specific group of people like teenagers or elderly people. It's basically identifying groups of people. Economic, relates to how a country makes and uses money, including buying and selling things. Broadband, a fast way to send data on the internet, allowing many things to happen at the same time. And infrastructure, the basic physical things needed for something to work, like roads for transportation or cables for the internet. E-commerce, buying and selling things over the internet, things like Amazon, eBay. Bandwidth, the amount of information that can be sent over the internet at one time. Okay. Just some figures. Number of internet users worldwide back in 2009 compared with 2022. So I've gone from 2009 here, you can see in Asia, for example, 764 million people compared with now, or rather in 2022, almost 3 billion. Asia, obviously by far the highest. Europe 750 million, just about doubled in size. Look at Africa, the Middle East. A massive infrastructure has been put in place to boost this over the last 13 years. Okay, and in the United Kingdom, the percentage of the population using the internet from 2001 compared with 2021, here we go, we've got just over 25% back in 2000, and back in 2021 we're almost at 100%, about 97%. So, one Office of National Statistics report talks about a framework called the Tech Partnership Basic Digital Skills. This framework lists 5 main digital skills people need to use technology well. To have a digital skill, you need to be able to do at least one activity for each skill. These skills include managing information, so using a search engine, finding a site you visited before, or saving a photo on the internet. Communicating, sending emails or messages and sharing info online. Transacting, buying stuff online or downloading apps. Problem solving, checking if online info is real or fixing tech problems using online help. And creating, filling out forms or making something new from online content. Okay. So let's have a little look at the causes of the digital divide. The digital divide often happens because some places don't have good infrastructure. Infrastructure means the stuff needed to make technology work, like electrical cables for power, fibre optic cables for fast internet, mobile phone masts, fixed wireless access, FWA units, and satellites for internet. In rural areas and less developed countries, this infrastructure might be missing because it's expensive to set up in the first place. So, some causes. Geography, we've just glossed over it. The digital divide can happen because of where people live. This problem is seen both within countries and around the world. In wealthier countries like the UK, more people have internet access because they can afford better technology. For example, 94.6% of people in the UK use the internet. This is figures around about 2020, but only 35% in Pakistan, which is a less economically developed country. Even in the same country, access can differ. In Italy, for example, people in the wealthier north have better technology than those in the poorer south. Locations matter too. In Russia, many people in the northern mountainous areas can't get internet access because it's hard to install the necessary cables. Companies prefer to set up in cities where most people live. In the UK, rural areas often don't have fast internet or the latest mobile networks because companies focus on cities where they can make more money. Okay? Another reason for the digital divide is fear of technology, fear of IT. Some people don't learn IT skills, especially older people. Technology can seem scary because it gets more complicated over time. IT is supposed to make life easier, but it can seem hard to use. People might worry about learning complicated instructions for computers, phones, or even ATM machines. Once they try, most find it not very difficult, but older people especially can feel nervous, especially in the first instance, about trying new things. Economics. A third reason for the digital divide is money. People with more money can buy new technology, which is usually expensive when it first comes out. IT companies focus on creating expensive new gadgets because they make more money selling to richer people. There isn't much incentive to make cheaper options for people with less money, so poorer people often get only the basic tech. This means they don't get to learn and improve their IT skills as much, making the gap between rich and poor even wider. In short, how much money you have affects your access to and be able to use technology. Disabilities. Another reason for the digital divide is disabilities. According to the World Health Organization, about 15% of people in the world have some kind of disability. Many of them can't use IT as it isn't designed for everyone. Many of them can't use IT. It's not necessarily designed for everyone. Research shows that people with disabilities use the internet less than others. We'll explore some examples of this later on. So in summary, the digital divide is the gap between people who can and cannot use modern technology. While many people use the internet daily for things like banking, shopping, and social media, others struggle to access it to use it effectively. This divide has several causes. We've touched upon infrastructure, geography, fear of IT, economics and disabilities. In summary, the digital divide is influenced by where people live, their economic situation, their comfort with technology, and whether they have any kind of disability. The divide affects access to and use of technology across different groups. Okay, so let's have a little look in more detail at the causes of digital divide. So cities versus rural areas. People in cities usually have better internet than those in the countryside. Okay, fact. Cities, it's easier to get high-speed internet because infrastructure is already there and more people use it. In rural areas, up in a mountain, for example, harder and more expensive to build the needed infrastructure and fewer people are going to use it in the end anyway. Okay, different internet speeds. Again, in cities, high-speed broadband is available, good streaming and online activities, whereas in rural areas, it leads to slower internet, may not support high-quality streaming or advanced online services. Online gaming, for example, people might struggle if they're up on a mountain trying to play the latest game on a PS4 or PS5. Mobile network access. People in cities usually have better mobile phone network coverage than those in the countryside. Cities' mobile networks, 4G, 5G, due to closer network mass, but in rural areas we might still be on 2G, 3G, and this is obviously going to make mobile internet very, very slow. Developed versus less developed areas of the world, okay, like the USA and Europe, for example, have better access to modern technologies, but certain parts of Africa, South Asia, have less access due to high costs and other priorities. Okay, the rich versus the poor. Rich can afford better internet and the latest tech gadgets, whereas poor people might struggle to afford high-speed internet and modern devices. And high versus low performance technologies. High performance tech allows some better experiences with HD streaming and fast broadband and fast browsing, whereas low performance tech may lead to lagging and poor quality streaming. So why does the digital divide matter? Obviously, education, harder for people without good tech to learn online. Jobs, it's difficult to find and do jobs that require internet. Well, realistically, in this day and age, most jobs are advertised on the internet, and most jobs involve you using the internet in some kind of way to do your job. More and more prevalent. Communication, it's tough to stay connected with others if you've not got good access to the internet and access to networks. And obviously, economic opportunities limits access to online businesses and services. Okay, so this is why it matters. Okay, so briefly, what we're going to do to bridge the gap. Build infrastructures, improve tech access in rural or less developed areas, make tech affordable, lower the cost of devices and internet plans, and offer training on using technologies. 3 great ways there to improve and bridge the digital divide. That's it for this first video. So thank you very much indeed for watching. There's going to be another 2 parts to this where we're going to explain things in detail. So until then, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you next time. Please continue to ask questions, leave your comments, hit notifications, and please subscribe. And finally, if you wish to buy me a coffee, I'd be truly grateful. Please visit buymeacoffee.com/learning zone. Thank you very much indeed. See you next time. Bye for now.